I don't have any major challenges now. I am retired. My biggest challenge is to contribute to communication, exchange, technological development, and the growth of young people. Given the current situation, I am looking for more effective methods. Even though my challenges are not as significant as those in active positions, I believe I can make some efforts on my own.
Since relinquishing control of Ant Group in 2019 and stepping down as chairman of the board, Alibaba Group's founder, Jack Ma, has remained out of the public eye in recent years. During this time, Alibaba's market value has declined by 78%. The latest information indicates that despite leading a retired life, Jack Ma has recently become the largest stakeholder of Alibaba Group by increasing his stock holdings. This development has sparked various discussions, with some speculating whether he is willing to fully retire or if he was compelled by official directives to boost investor confidence through increased stock ownership. Alibaba, a wholly owned subsidiary of Alibaba Group Holdings, made an exclusive announcement through Hong Kong South China Morning Post on January 24th. According to insiders, Jack Ma purchased about $500 million worth of Alibaba stock in the last quarter of 2023. He increased his ownership stake beyond the 4.3% reported at the end of 2021. This may have surpassed SoftBank Group of Japan, making Jack Ma the single largest shareholder of Alibaba Group. This marks the first time in 20 years that Jack Ma has reclaimed the title of Alibaba's largest shareholder. Alibaba's current chairman, Joseph Tsai, became the second largest shareholder after increasing his holdings, but Alibaba has not officially confirmed or denied these developments. On January 23rd, a 13F filing on the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission website revealed that Joseph Tsai had increased his Alibaba stock holdings through his family fund, Blue Pool, with a value of $150 million. The New York Times financial column, Dealbook, also cited sources indicating that Jack Ma's partner had made significant increases in Alibaba stock holdings during the same period. These reports indirectly confirm that significant changes are occurring in Alibaba's ownership structure. According to sources cited by South China Morning Post, the combined holdings of Jack Ma and Joseph Tsai now exceed SoftBank Group's ownership percentage. Alibaba Group responded in the reports, stating that the increased stake reflects a high level of confidence in Alibaba's future prospects, its management team, and its strategic direction. On January 25th, SoftBank announced that it had reduced its holdings by a total of 512 million shares, equivalent to 64 million American Depository Receipts, ADRs, between October 2021 and January 2024, resulting in a profit of about 61 billion yuan. It is reported that SoftBank has been reducing its holdings of profitable Alibaba stocks to offset the massive investments required for its Vision Fund. According to Morgan Stanley, SoftBank Group, controlled by Masayoshi Son, has reduced its stake in Alibaba through forward contracts from about 7% in December 2022 to around 2% in March 2023, further decreasing to less than 0.5% in May. Stimulated by the news of Jack Ma and Joseph Tsai's increased holdings, Alibaba's stock price on the U.S. market surged by about 8% on January 3rd, reaching $188.5 billion. From January 23rd to 25th, Alibaba's Hong Kong-listed stock saw a cumulative increase of 12%. Investors had not witnessed such a significant increase since Alibaba's announcement of its 1+6+N organizational structuring, during which the business was divided into 6 distinct units. Jack Ma's recent reemergence as Alibaba Group's largest shareholder has rekindled public interest. After relinquishing control of Ant Group last year, it appeared that he had distanced himself from the technology giant. Meanwhile, Alibaba Group has been undergoing a year of significant transformation. In 2014, when Alibaba filed for its initial public offering on the U.S. stock market, Jack Ma held an 8.9% ownership stake. By the end of that year, Jack Ma had become the wealthiest individual in Asia, with an estimated net worth of $25 billion. His ambition was to transform Alibaba into a platform that serves small businesses globally. When Alibaba returned to the Hong Kong Stock Exchange in 2019, Jack Ma's ownership had decreased to 6.1%. In July 2020, the last time Jack Ma's ownership was disclosed in Alibaba's financial reports, it had dropped to 4.8%, while Joseph Tsai held a 1.6% stake. As Jack Ma's ownership fell below 5% and he no longer served on the board or in an executive role, Alibaba ceased disclosing his exact ownership percentage. For a significant period afterward, Jack Ma remained relatively out of the spotlight due to his lower ownership stake. It was not until November 2023 that reports surfaced regarding the Jack Ma Family Trust's plan to sell $870 million worth of Alibaba stock. This news was interpreted by the market as the founder disposing of Alibaba shares. Consequently, Alibaba's U.S. stock price saw a one-day decline of over 9%. Its Hong Kong stock price dropped by almost 10%. At that time, Alibaba Group partner and Chief Talent Officer Jiang Feng explained on Alibaba's internal network that Jack Ma required funds for investments in agricultural technology and philanthropic initiatives. He had signed the sales contracts earlier in 2023, but the agreed selling price was significantly higher than the stock's price in November 2023, leading Jack Ma to hold on to all of his shares. SoftBank, one of Alibaba's earliest investors, held approximately 34% of Alibaba's shares while the company went public in 2014. Subsequently, SoftBank gradually replaced its Alibaba holdings, repeatedly stating its intent to sell Alibaba stock to repurchase its own company shares. According to China's Wind Information Company, as of July 2022, SoftBank's share of Alibaba had decreased to about 24%. From July 2022 to July 2023, SoftBank accelerated its divestment of Alibaba shares, reducing its ownership stake to 14% by July 2023. According to Morgan Stanley, SoftBank had effectively lowered its ownership stake in Alibaba to 7% through forward contracts by the end of 2022, with less than 0.5% remaining by May 2023. Some market observers believe that Jack Ma and Joseph Tsai are acting in concert, so their ownership could be combined. This interpretation is related to Alibaba's partnership system, which previously bound some early investors through consolidation agreements and guaranteed partner rights. One example is that despite SoftBank's long-standing status as a major shareholder in Alibaba, an agreement between Jack Ma and SoftBank Group maintained their voting rights in alignment. This enabled Jack Ma to maintain significant influence over Alibaba's board with a relatively low ownership stake. On the other hand, Alibaba's annual reports indicate that Jack Ma and Joseph Tsai each directly own their respective shares, which can be individually calculated. Even if SoftBank's ownership stake were to drop below 0.5%, it may still be lower than the combined holdings of Ma and Tsai. But it does not necessarily imply that their ownership exceeds that of other shareholders. The issue at hand is the timing of when Jack Ma and Joseph Tsai became the top two shareholders in Alibaba, and why Alibaba did not make an official announcement when they surpassed SoftBank's ownership. In recent years, Alibaba Group, once a prominent tech giant in China, has faced significant challenges. The company, along with its affiliate Ant Group, was among the first enterprises to be hit by a broader crackdown on the technology sector, resulting in a market value loss of about $1.1 trillion. In October 2020, Jack Ma criticized China's financial system during the Bund Financial Summit in Shanghai. He stated that the country's banking system lacked innovation and was still operating with a pawnshop mentality. Just 9 days after his remarks, Ant Group's planned IPO was abruptly halted by regulatory authorities. Subsequently, regulatory agencies initiated investigations into various issues related to Ant Group, which concluded with significant operational risks identified. 3 financial regulatory bodies jointly imposed a hefty fine of about $11 billion on Ant Group and closely monitored its rectification efforts. Following these events, Alibaba faced substantial fines, marking a challenging period for the company. In April 2021, Alibaba Group was penalized by the State Administration for Market Regulation for abusing its dominant position in China's domestic online retail platform services market in a few incidents referred to as the pick one of two practice. These were incidents of allegations of monopolistic practices, where Alibaba reportedly required merchants on its platform to choose between doing business exclusively with Alibaba or with its competitors. Alibaba was ordered to cease related activities and was fined 4% of its domestic sales revenue for 2019, totaling 18.2 billion yuan, $2.5 billion. On December 29, 2023, Alibaba was again fined significantly due to the Pick 1 of 2 incident. According to a statement by JD.com, the Beijing High Court concluded that Alibaba had engaged in monopolistic behavior by abusing its dominant market position, causing significant harm to JD.com. Alibaba was ordered to pay JD.com 1 billion yuan, about $106 million in damages. As a result, Alibaba's total fines and compensation payments over the past 3 years have exceeded 109 billion yuan, almost $30 billion. As of January 24, 2024, Alibaba's market capitalization stood at only $188 billion, a significant decrease of nearly $670 billion from its peak. On March 28, 2023, Alibaba Group announced a large-scale restructuring plan during its executive committee meeting. The plan involved the creation of 6 major business groups, each with the potential for independent financing or even IPOs. Specifically, the organizational structure, known as 1+6+N, consists of one publicly traded Alibaba entity, 1, 6 business groups, including Cloud Intelligence Group, Taobao and Tmall Business Group, Local Life Group, Cainiao Group, International Digital Commerce Group, and Big Entertainment Group, and numerous independent business companies, N. But in November 2023, due to the impact of U.S. restrictions on semiconductor exports, Alibaba Group abandoned its plan to spin off its cloud business, resulting in a significant sell-off of its stock. The separation has been a crucial step in the company's ambitious self-renewal plan. While Alibaba's top management attributed the decision to U.S. restrictions on semiconductor sales to China, experts noted that Alibaba Cloud had also been losing market share to government-backed competitors. Since announcing his retirement in 2019 and stepping down as the chairman of Alibaba Group's board of directors, Jack Ma has been actively involved in philanthropic activities and agriculture. He has been engaging in farming, tea cultivation, fish and cattle farming, winemaking, and has conducted research on agricultural technologies in various countries, including the Netherlands, Japan, and Thailand. Jack Ma even opened an online store on China's e-commerce platform, Tmall, selling large yellow croaker fish and scallops. Despite moving away from his core business interests, he continues to maintain his involvement in the education sector and holds honorary positions as a professor at the University of Hong Kong and a visiting professor at Tokyo College. His public schedule reflects a decreased focus on business-related activities. Even his Weibo username changed from Alibaba's chairman to rural teacher spokesperson, Jack Ma. It appears that Jack Ma has truly embraced a retired lifestyle in recent years. Last year, after traveling extensively abroad, Ma returned to China before the announcement of Alibaba's group restructuring plan. This led observers to speculate whether he had reached some kind of agreement with Beijing authorities. Jack Ma's reappearance in the public eye coincided with his support for Beijing's softened stance toward private enterprises, as Chinese authorities sought to bolster the economy, which had been severely affected by the 3-year zero-COVID policy. 5 sources informed Reuters that Chinese Premier Li Qiang recognized that Jack Ma's return to mainland China would help boost the business confidence of entrepreneurs and therefore requested his return. Regarding Jack Ma's return and Alibaba Group's restructuring, Professor Frank Xie of the School of Business Administration at the University of South Carolina Aiken previously told Radio Free Asia, Jack Ma, with so much money and extensive influence, has to obediently return, which indicates how severe the CCP's control is. For these private entrepreneurs, their confidence will plummet and they probably won't be able to escape in the future. The Wall Street Journal previously reported that despite stepping down as chairman of Alibaba Group in 2019, Jack Ma still wields influence within the company and actively participates in shaping its strategy. Jack Ma has engaged in discussions with the company's executives advocating for the division of the group. Therefore, his recent emergence as Alibaba's largest stakeholder raises suspicions about the underlying motivations. Is he unwilling to see his achievements squandered and thus decided to sell his Alibaba shares to rescue the company? Or was he compelled by higher authorities to return and act as the face of Alibaba? The only certainty is that the substantial increase in holdings by the former business leader has had a significantly positive impact on the capital market. The news not only directly stimulated Alibaba's U.S. stocks, causing them to open high and rise by over 7%, marking the largest increase in 6 months, but also led to a broader rally in the internet sector, with companies like Tencent, Baidu, and Meituan all experiencing gains. As China's economy slowly recovers from the pandemic, the Chinese internet economy faced a challenging year in 2023, with a market capitalization of traditional internet giants like Alibaba and Tencent steadily declining. The activity in internet sector investments and financing has notably decreased, leading to historically low valuations for Chinese internet stocks. A research report by the China Academy of Information and Communications Technology revealed a 54% year-on-year decrease in the number of internet investment and financing cases in the third quarter, with disclosed amounts dropping by 36% compared to the same period last year. In the past year, Chinese internet companies have engaged in a battle to defend their stock prices, seen as a response to the underperformance of technology stocks. Data shows that the scale of repurchases in the Hong Kong stock market reached a historic high in 2023, with a total repurchase of 125.9 billion Hong Kong dollars for the year, a 20% increase from the 104.8 billion Hong Kong dollars purchased in 2023. Companies like Alibaba, Tencent, and Meituan have led the buyback wave, with Tencent being the buyback king of the year, repurchasing over 48 billion Hong Kong dollars. AIA Group and HSBC Holdings ranked second and third, with repurchase amounts of 28.4 billion Hong Kong dollars and 21.6 billion Hong Kong dollars respectively. The repurchase amounts of these three companies alone exceeded 98.4 billion Hong Kong dollars, accounting for over 78% of the total repurchase amount in the Hong Kong stock market for the year. It is worth noting that Tencent has been the buyback king for 2 consecutive years, with a total investment of over 80 billion Hong Kong dollars in repurchases. Apart from the increased holdings by Cai Chongxin and Jack Ma in Hong Kong stocks, Alibaba Group has also conducted significant share buybacks. On the evening of January 2nd, Alibaba Group announced on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange that during the 12-month period ending on December 31st, 2023, the company repurchased a total of nearly 900 million common shares at a total price of $9.5 billion, equivalent to 112.2 million American Depository Receipts, ADRs. This made Alibaba Group the Chinese internet-listed company with the largest buyback effort in 2023. As of December 31, 2023, Alibaba Group's outstanding common shares amounted to 12 billion shares, equivalent to 2.5 billion ADRs. Compared to the 20.7 billion common shares, equivalent to 2.6 billion ADRs, as of December 31, 2022, the company's outstanding shares have decreased by 3.3% over the past 12 months. According to an analysis by Shen Meng, a director at Xiangsong Capital, share buybacks by companies are generally intended to convey messages to the market about the company's robust performance, healthy cash flow, and undervalued status, with the aim of boosting investor confidence. However, when significant buybacks fail to improve the company's stock price, it suggests that buybacks alone may not be sufficient to alleviate investor concerns. Although Jack Ma's return has temporarily boosted investor confidence in Alibaba's future prospects and briefly stimulated other internet companies' stock prices, the overall outlook for the Chinese economy remains uncertain. In addition, several internet companies have recently implemented cost-cutting measures through layoffs, making it challenging for investors to regain confidence in these companies. It appears that the Chinese internet industry may be facing a cold winter period, despite the positive developments brought about by Jack Ma's return.